Hi, I'm Chad with Move for Guitar. This lesson is from our series Chords for Beginners. In a previous lesson, I showed you how to play an open A minor 7 chord. In this lesson, I'm going to show you another version of an open A minor 7 chord. In a previous lesson, I showed you how to play an open A minor 7 chord that looked and sounded like this. In this lesson, I'm going to show you another version, or what's called another voicing, of the open A minor 7 chord. And a different voicing just means that it's the same chord, it has the same name and all the same notes in the chord, just the notes are in a different order. And you don't need to really worry about that too much, just know that this is another version of the open A minor 7 chord. And this version is like this. And this one, really all you're doing is taking the open A minor chord, and if you don't know how to play that chord, there's a link in the description that you can watch a lesson on that. And instead of leaving the first string open, you're going to add your fourth finger on the third string first fret. Sorry, on the first string third fret. So it'd be just like that. So the fingering would be your second finger on the fourth string, second fret. Your third finger goes right under that in the same fret on the third string, so third string, second fret. And then your first finger goes to the second string, first fret. And then your fourth finger goes on the first string, third fret. So it's just like that. So like I said, if you know the open A minor chord, you're just adding your fourth finger on the first string, third fret. And the other version of the A minor 7 chord that I showed you was like this. This one just has a different sound. It's a little brighter sound because of this note up on top. And it's just another option for doing an A minor 7 chord. They're totally interchangeable, it just depends what sound you like the best and depends what playing situation you're in for which one's going to sound the best. So just make sure that you're on the tips of your fingers, that your knuckles aren't bent back like this, and that you're not hearing any muted notes or buzzing. Make sure that your thumb is straight up and down, not sideways like this. And with this chord, you're not playing the 6th string. You're going to leave that one out. So if you can reach your thumb up and just lightly touch the 6th string and mute it like that. And that way you can strum through all the strings and not have to worry about hitting the 6th string. If you can't reach your thumb up like that, if that's not comfortable, if your hands aren't big enough, then leave it down and just make sure with your strumming hand that you're more accurate and you start your strum on the 5th string. Because this chord, if you leave the 6th string in, it just becomes really muddy. So try to be accurate if you can't block it out and start on the 5th string, because your 5th string is open and then you're fretting the notes that I showed you. So you strum through the 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings. And if you hit the 6th string a little bit when you're strumming, it doesn't matter, it's not going to sound horrible. It's just if you strum and hit it too much, it's going to get a little muddy. And make sure that you get most of your fingers up towards the front of the fret as possible. It's not possible with your second finger. It's going to be back in the fret a little bit because your third finger's in the way like this. But your other fingers you can have up towards the front of the fret, because any note that you fret on guitar you want up towards the front fret wire in whatever fret you're in, because it takes less pressure to get that note to ring out clearly. If you're back in the fret, the same amount of pressure, you're going to get a lot of buzzing. So you're going to have to add more pressure if you're back in the fret. And with this one, you don't really have any choice but to have your second finger back in the fret. So it just takes a little bit more pressure with that finger. And your fourth finger, depending on the anatomy of your hand, might be more in the middle of the fret. Mine is not comfortable to get it up towards the front of the fret because it totally changes the shape of my hand. It just naturally falls in the middle, or close to the middle, and that's still fine. So when you think you have the chord fretted properly, just strum through all the strings. If you hear anything muted, buzzing, or sounding funny, just go through, readjust your fingers until you can get all the notes to ring out clearly. So that's another voicing of the open A minor 7 chord. If you'd like to get the diagram for this chord, you can click the link on the screen and it'll take you to an eGuide that you can download for free. And in this eGuide, it has this chord, but it also has a whole bunch of other beginner chords that'll be really useful for you to learn. It just gives you a bunch of options for different chords and different versions of chords, and it'll really expand your knowledge and give you tons of options for playing chords and songs. And along with the chords, I give you a bunch of options for chord progressions. So I take the chords that are in the eGuide, put them together into sequences, and create chord progressions out of them so that you can actually hear them in a more musical situation, and you can learn the chord progressions to see what chords sound good together, and also get ideas for different chord progressions that you can create on your own. That way you won't just learn a whole bunch of random chords and then have no idea how to use them. This will show you musical situations that they can be used in and really expand your knowledge and help you as a beginner. So if you'd like to get that e-guide, just click the link on the screen and you can download that for free.